All right, Coach. Busy time coming up for you guys. I think the next 4 weeks you got like 20-some games. You already had 2 at home. How big has it been for you guys to be outside already?
Playing softball in February is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not something I ever expected. I mean, being from Cleveland, spending the last 13 years here in North Manchester, Indiana. My first season as coach, our first time outside was actually in Florida on spring break. So I thought it was very exciting for our players. I thought the games went pretty well. We looked pretty promising for that early in the year, and I think it's something we're really going to be able to build on.
Young pitching staff, but they did well early with Tristan Kuhn and Madison Waller pitching well. How do you see the staff coming along so far in practice and whatnot?
Well, 2 of them are juniors. Mallory Jennings and Maddie Walters are both juniors, so they have some experience there. They don't have tons of innings and starts to their credit, but they are a little bit more mature than we're talking about just freshmen coming in pitching. So maybe it's not the deepest staff, but very confident in those 2 in their leaderships. They're both competitors, and they're balancing out the staff pretty well. And Tristan, again, her first start was pretty awesome. I mean, you can't ask much more of her. She works really hard. She loves softball. She loves pitching. Coach Emmerich and her have been working really hard, on developing her locations and things like that. So we're very excited for her. And, again, the staff as a whole. I mean, Mackenzie Nylands hasn't pitched a lot in the past year, but has been out there working and getting better and improving each day. Kristen Connors is rehabbing her arm, so I'm not sure how fast we'll get her back and throwing. But, again, they've got a solid defense behind them. They've got, I think they're going to have some runs to work with. It's just about next pitch and keeping their focus and being able to play through that 1 or 2 hits or bad pitches and just keep their confidence and just keep focusing on the next pitch. And Coach Emmerich's doing a wonderful job with them, and we're kind of excited to try to get them out there and see them in action a little bit more.
Strong lineup, it looks like. I mean, the early doubleheaders are always tough because pitching is usually a little bit ahead of the offense, but you got a lot of players back at each spot. Can you kind of talk about?
Yeah, we're not young anymore. I mean, we've got some veterans. Even some of the sophomores that are in our lineups played a lot last year. So, in the past maybe we've been young at a few spots and inexperienced, and we don't have that excuse. We're deep at every position. We've got a lot of competition going. You talk about the returning all-conference players. I mean, you start with Lauren Ladwig, who's been first-team all-conference the last 2 years. And she's got a lot of support. In our outfield, you got Emily Liston, who's been all-conference several times. Had a great year last year. Looks great in the preseason so far. You've outfield, again, 2 juniors that are getting a lot of the reps with Kayla Deisler, Mallory Jennings. So you can see they're a lot more confident out there now as juniors. And, again, you don't want to take it away from the younger players that are trying to battle them for positions, but it's fun to see that competition. Then you go to the infield, and, you've got freshman of the year at shortstop with Mandy Boggs. She was really coming on strong at the end of last year, so hopefully she can continue to, build on what she accomplished. Kate Skeens was, arguably one of our better hitters through most of the last year and played through a lot of different injuries. So she seems to be getting really healthy and relaxed at the plate. So Sydney Thompson had an amazing freshman campaign, so she's back behind the plate. And again, you're still not talking about everybody. You got a lot of the young freshmen who are trying to prove themselves and just looking for opportunities to play. So it's pushing kind of the returners a little bit. I got to talk about Chloe Hensley, who's fighting for innings the last couple years, but has been a constant worker who just has a great attitude. And she's done whatever we've asked her to do, whether play multiple positions. She played her at first base a little bit in the fall. She can play second, she can play short. I mean, she'll just do anything she can to help us. She had a strong outing against Huntington as well. So, we're coaching staff. We're going to have some choices to make, and hopefully our team continues to embrace the competition. And again, you want to get out there in the field. So hopefully the weather can continue to cooperate, and we'll get out there soon.
How do you get a team ready for that spring trip run? Because at no other time of the year do you play 8 games in 3 days or whatever. How do you get them ready for that?
You just got to tell them, hey, there's no classes, and they're ready. I mean, they work very hard. I mean, Manchester, I think, is a very rigorous institution academically. They know why they're here. They're here first to get education, and we're well over 3.0 as a team GPA. I would really enjoy the atmosphere that we've created here, where everybody is academic minded and pushing each other and holding each other accountable. So when you talk sunshine and softball, they're raring to go. They're chomping at the bit. So that's an easy one. In the past, the biggest concerns you've had is just going from usually in the gym to outside and seeing the ball off the dirt versus a gym floor. We've been, like I said, we've been out more than I can remember. Even as an assistant coach, we've been outside more than ever. So it's just about getting down there and playing. They'll be ready to go.
When you look at the league this year, what do you see?
I see a very competitive league. I don't think you have any room not to be ready on game day. 1 through 9, I think any team could dominate another team on any given day. There is no easy win in our conference. I think you've seen that last year. Battling just for the try to get into the tournament was difficult, and I thought we had a great year last year and still fell short. So I think everybody's getting better. I mean, Transy won the conference championship last year, and they've got almost everybody back. And you look at Anderson and what they've done as a powerhouse. Hanover won the tournament. You talk about Franklin. We haven't, I don't think, I can't even count. I get 4 or 5 straight games we've lost to them, and they've handled us pretty well. So again, now you're talking about after those 4, everybody else is young and hungry and trying to get into the tournament. And I think of Mount St. Joe and Defiance and Bluffton and Rose-Hulman, and we split with most of those teams, at least once out of the last 2 years. So there's I think our conference has been really starting to move up the ladder nationally, and I think you're going to see some really competitive softball games. And so I keep talking about our team is about their consistent effort. Is we've got to be more consistent. We've proven we can, step up and play against some really good teams and win those games, but we didn't prove that we can do that at a consistent basis, have the consistent approach each and every game, no matter who you're playing. And in our schedule, you've got some good teams. Like I said, this weekend, hopefully the weather will cooperate, and you're playing Hope. And that's there is no relaxing with our schedule.